If you're a mom, how are you going to handle this situation when your 9-year-old son brings this little kid over to play, at a play date, your house, and the kid is dropping all kinds of really foul language. And you're like, wait, what is he doing? Dropping F-bombs, S-bombs, everything. And so this mom told him, said, hey, look, we don't curse in our house. And he replied, well, we're allowed to curse in our house as long as it isn't meant to hurt someone. And I said, well, that might be fine in your house, but it's not acceptable here, and this isn't your house. Well, he didn't care, and I kept hearing him dropping curse words. So I called his mom. I said, yeah, you got to pick him up. And she's like, well, what's going on? And I said, your kid is dropping a lot of really foul language over here. We just don't curse in this house, and I don't want it around my kid. She got kind of offended about it.
And cursed at you.
Yeah, well, she said, you are freaking out about something as stupid as language. I mean, there's a lot of other things that you need to get bent out of shape about in this world, and cursing is not one of them. I said, sorry, you need to come get your kid. And I said, and he's not welcome at our house anymore. So, not surprisingly, as she's walking away, she tells me to F off. She said, it's just getting kind of crazy. She said, this is my third child over the course of 12 years. And in that time, I've already definitely noticed a change in parents. Has anybody else noticed this as well?
It's why I got out of coaching baseball. I loved coaching little kids from all ages, and the parents ruined it for me. In fact, I would get a visceral, disgusting reaction dealing with parents. They really took away not only the fun for an instructor, but for the children as well. Zero discipline. Their kids were never, ever held accountable. I mean, the thing I saw the last was when a kid was taking a baseball bat and hitting someone else's car with it in the parking lot, and the mom wasn't telling him to stop, and it wasn't their car. And I finally said, are you going to tell your son to stop taking that bat to the car? And she's like, oh, yeah, Johnny, stop it. Stop it, Johnny, stop. Like, didn't even care. I go, I can't be a part. I can't be a part of this world anymore.
Yeah. I don't know for certain. There could be two things at play. It could be that just in the course of those 12 years that parents are a lot worse and they let their kids do or say whatever they want and there's no barriers on anymore. It could just be an isolated incident. Or the other thing it could be as well, and I was reading something over the weekend. They're talking about kids don't get the same parents as their siblings. And what they meant was, you think about it, if you have a couple years difference, and between my twins and my youngest, it's a 10-year gap. And they said, especially if you have like a decade in there, and she's talking about her third kid over the course of 12 years, who you were as a parent 12 years ago is not even close to who you are now. And so your first kid got a much different mom than the kid you have now. And what might be happening is now you're on the higher end of the parental age, and you're dealing with a mom that might be on the lower end. You might be talking a decade plus in your age difference.
That's true.
Oh, they always say your first kid, you watch like a hawk. By the third kid, you're letting them juggle knives.
Yeah, and they said that's the thing about siblings is that, and kids can be so different, is because they don't have the same experience, and they may remember things radically different than their siblings on how things were based on who their parent was at the time.
Well, imagine, let's say you are a parent and the beginning stages of your kid, like for the first 5 years of your kid, maybe you were a big drinker and then you quit drinking and now you're not a drinker.
Right.
Your personality is going to change drastically.
Absolutely, yeah. So the oldest kid might have got drunk dad, and then the youngest kid gets sober dad. Is like going, well, he's not even close to who you said. Well, I dealt with a different experience. So I don't know. That could be it as well. But look, if the rules of your house are the rules of your house, and if there's a kid that's an influence that you don't want around your child, that's absolutely your job as a parent to make sure that those kids don't get easy access to your kid.
If this was the 1970s, the kid swearing would have been thrown to a wall. But it's not the 1970s, and we can't do that. That's not cool to do.
And I know this mom thought she was doing it the right way by addressing it and saying, oh, well, your kid has to leave because he's cursing too much. I would have gone a different route. I would have been like, your kid has to go. We have a family emergency. I've got to go. We got to go take care of something.
So the young kid's teaching your kid to curse, and you as the mom are teaching your kid to lie.
Yes.
Okay, the kid's getting a full, well-rounded education that day.
Yes.
I think it's brilliant. At that point, just make the kid a cocktail.
That's what you, and then you got to get a drink because that was so stressful.
And when that kid leaves, now you don't have drama with his mama in the front yard, and she's F you, and you're all upset. And
No,
your kid's watching this.
No, you've helped the situation by really just tangling up more lies.
Yes.
more
One
deceit.
little white
Swearing,
lie.
lying, drinking. Okay.
Yes.
Let's get through those three
There's
things.
no such thing as a white lie.
What an education the kid got for the day.
One
White
little
wine.
lie.
Yes, white wine.
I love to lie and decrease drama.
It's your house. If you want the kid to not swear, you have every right to boot the kid out of the house.
Absolutely.
It's your house.
And you can let your kid know.
Yeah.
Be like, sorry, we don't like those kind of naughty words.